So today I'm going to be checking out the outskirts of Victoria. Since as a local, it's nice to get out of the city from time to time. First, we're stopping for breakfast. Now if there's one thing Victoria isn't short for, it's good breakfast places. But located just 2 miles out of the downtown core is Cabin 12. Cabin 12 is popular for its unique and fun atmosphere, its good service, and of course, delicious food. Let's go check it out. So I'm standing beside Dan Del Villano. He's one of the 3 owners here at Cabin 12. Dan, this place is so creative. Who's behind all the creativity in the restaurant?
Well, my partner Corey started the place and he didn't have enough money for decorations, so he just opened up the walls to local artists. And so it's almost all local artists and then some family pictures of his and ours.
Is a lot of the art for sale then?
It's basically all for sale and we don't charge a commission. It's just Corey's parents were artists, they never had a place to put anything themselves, and we've probably sold about $10,000 worth of art since we've been open.
Oh my goodness.
One guy did almost $5,000 by himself and he'd never displayed before.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been really successful.
That's really great. And what about the menu? The menu is hilarious.
The menu was, I guess it was the result of a late night brainstorming session before I became one of the owners.
Awesome.
I used to be a regular and I just loved the place. And so when Corey became a partner, my wife and I came on, and so the stuff that's on the menu is all out of his brain, and Jim, who was the original chef.
Great. And what would you say is the most popular item?
Well, coffee outstrips everything, but for food, for breakfast, it's the eggs meat toast, which is basic bacon and eggs, or the Willie's hash.
The Willie's hash?
And then for supper items, burgers. We've got really good burgers with local beef from Cow Bay, which is a good place to get your beef.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, since we're here for breakfast, I think we're going to try the Willie's hash.
Yeah, I highly recommend.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dan.
Most welcome.
That's great.
As I waited for breakfast, there definitely wasn't a shortage of things to keep me busy. There were books to look through, board games and cards to play with, and even a guitar to pick up and strum. Breakfast didn't take long at all, though, and after I'd finally figured out where I wanted to take a seat, coffee was in my cup and breakfast wasn't far behind.
So I've got a good cup of coffee, a delicious looking Willie's hash. I'm going to sit here, dig in, and see if I can get through it all.
And I'd never seen this before. When you visit, make sure to check out all the staff and paintings up on the wall. Another cool and unique characteristic of Cabin 12.
That meal was absolutely delicious. I am stuffed. It's time to put that meal to good use though. We're going to go check out some of Vancouver Island's hiking trails. Here we go.
I'm heading to Goldstream Park, and to get there, all you need to do is get on the Trans-Canada Highway 1 and it's a straight shot all the way there. You'll know you're getting close when you're suddenly surrounded by trees, and you see this sign.
So as you can see, you've always got to be prepared for weather here in Victoria. As it was nice and sunny in Victoria, it's kind of cloudy here. But it's okay because we've got the rain cover. And it doesn't seem to stop the locals as the parking lot is completely full. So we're going to go check this place out. Goldstream is an old-growth rainforest, and in the mid-19th century it was part of the gold rush. You can still explore some of the mining shafts around the park. This right here tunnel leads to Niagara Falls, which at 47.5 meters is as high as its famous namesake. As you can see, the water's really high right now. We're going to hike up and see if we can see the waterfall. Woo! Closest we're going to get, which is pretty close. You can feel the power coming off the waterfall. It's really beautiful. Yeah. Park's obviously amazing to visit all year round, but there's certain months of the year which are really cool to come here. From October to December, thousands of salmon swim upstream to spawn. And from December to January, the largest concentration of bald eagles anywhere in Canada swoop down to collect all the dead fish. Really cool sight, a little smelly though. Trails here range from easy, wheelchair accessible, to more strenuous hikes that trek through creeks and up the mountainside. One of the more popular hikes is Mount Finlayson, which is one of the highest points in Victoria. We're going up to the Trestle though, which is kind of a more secret hike. It's more strenuous, definitely not really kid-friendly, but I promise you, the view at the top is pretty amazing. Let's go check it out. And just in case you get tired, you can always stop and rest in a tree.
As I made my way up to the trestle, I passed a few hikers on the way, but it was mostly pretty quiet. I would advise to come with a partner, or at least a dog to keep you company, because there are bear and cougar sightings here. Don't let that deter you though. It's a gorgeous hike, full of West Coast aesthetics, and it was so nice to be away from any kind of traffic and city noise. When I started to reach the trestle, I was reminded at how beautiful the views were at the top, and how spectacular the trestle was itself. When I arrived, there were even some adventurous hikers making their way across it. Definitely not for the faint of heart.
So we made it to the top of the trail. Yay! This is the trestle. It's a running railroad track. Trains do come 2 times a day, so whatever time you're here, you're going to make sure you want to check the train times. Because you don't want to get halfway across. That's kind of terrifying. We're not going to walk across it. Whoa! We're not going to walk across today because, as you can see, it's pretty slippery. Speaking of some amazing views, since we are on the Malahat, we're going to drive a little further up and see what we can check out.
The hike was definitely easier coming down, but still be careful as it can be quite slippery. Getting back in the car, I headed further up along the highway to check out some of the look points. Even on a cloudy day, you can see far across the Saanich Peninsula and the Gulf Islands.
I'm here on the Malahat. It's a 17-mile stretch along the Trans-Canada Highway 1. It takes you from Victoria up island along the mountainside. It's a really beautiful drive. It was cut as a cattle trail back in 1861 and became a paved road in 1911. We're here at one of the viewpoints. It's 352 meters high. As you can see, the views are amazing.
The Malahat gets its name from the Malahat First Nation, whose ancestors used the caves for spiritual enhancement. The mountain is considered one of the most sacred sites on southern Vancouver Island.
So it would be awesome to stay here all evening, but there's still a few more places in Victoria I want to check out before the sun goes down. So I made it back to the inner harbour on downtown Victoria. Now depending on what time of year you're here, the harbour's going to look a little bit different. In the wintertime it's usually pretty quiet, but in the summertime it's bustling with all kinds of vendors. Magicians, musicians, artists, face painters, all kinds of fun. Today it's pretty quiet, but whatever time of year you're here, it's always good for an evening stroll.
And I definitely was enjoying such a peaceful, beautiful evening on the harbour, knowing that in a few months it will be hard to make my way through all the interested tourists. There's definitely so much to see. I did, however, pass one man who had been busy painting caricatures of famous people, and a woman sewing authentic native sweaters and hats that are not only beautiful and warm, but a great souvenir of your time on Vancouver Island.
Now it's getting close to dinner time, and whatever food you're craving, you'll find it in downtown Victoria. It's a great place to dine out. But since I'm feeling a little adventurous, we're going to trek to Fisherman's Wharf and have dinner on the docks. Some fresh seafood. Now an easy way to get there when you're on the inner harbour is to take the water ferry over. For only $5, you can enjoy a beautiful, scenic ride right to your dinner table.
The harbour taxi has 17 stops around Victoria, so depending on where you want to go, it can get you pretty close. A cool activity that they offer in the summertime are their pickle pub crawls, where you buy a wristband and they take you to 3 different pubs along the harbour, and with 4 or more people, you can get a free appetizer at each stop. Definitely something fun to do with your friends on your day off. As I left the docks, I got a great panoramic view of the inner harbour and all the things going on, and the friendly captain was pleased to answer any questions. I also caught the Victoria Clipper coming in from Seattle, another fellow water taxi, and a whale watching boat just coming in from a tour. I wonder if they saw any whales. As we rounded the corner, I caught a glimpse of all the boats and water homes at Fisherman's Wharf.
Getting close!
later come to find out the people who live here don't like the term houseboats, seeing how they don't have neither sails or a motor attached to them. They appreciate the term floating homes, and with 33 on the docks, they range from funky cottage-style homes to huge 3-story modern homes, all of them unique in their own way.
We made it! Well, this is Fisherman's Wharf. It's a great place to come and explore while enjoying a snack. There's all kinds of kiosks, you can buy seafood right off the dock, and check out the unique float homes that are docked here. Now you can still catch fishermen bringing in seafood throughout the day, but the busiest time here was from the Second World War to around 1990. Let's go check out some of the float homes.
Many of the homes are so creative, with all kinds of artwork and figurines stuck to or climbing up the walls. You can tell that there are some extremely inventive people down here. It's a very close-knit community, and the people that live here mention so many benefits of living on the docks. For one, you have an instant social life, with friendly neighbors who become like family. The docks are busy day by day, but at night are nice and quiet, and everyone always respects your privacy. Many people have kayaks and boats tied to their homes, and boat out to the shops or out to dinner. How cool is that? With the added wildlife and gorgeous scenery, many couldn't even imagine not living on the docks.
Fishing vessels were tied to every dock, except for 2 docks at the east end of the harbor, which were liveaboard docks from the 1970s to around the 2000s. These docks were made up of very colorful, eccentric people who would appear from out of nowhere and make the docks their new home, only to move on without a moment's notice. This made the docks a very interesting place to visit and kept the local police quite busy.
As I continued to explore the docks, look who I spotted scouting out food scraps along the harbor. You can buy small fish from the fishermen to feed them, and I'm guessing he gets fed quite a bit, as he was probably the biggest seal I've ever seen. Apparently, whatever time of day you're visiting, he can't be found far from the docks.
There's a little one over there.
Oh, he's got a girlfriend! So I'm gonna go grab some dinner now, and a really popular place here is Barb's Fish and Chips, especially in the summertime. They get their seafood straight off the docks.
Barb's Fish and Chips has been open since 1984. It's a landmark in Victoria, and they've been voted the #1 best fish and chips for the past 29 years. The staff is friendly, and they're so efficient, they give you a pager after you've ordered.
I guess you can walk around the harbor and check out stuff while you're waiting for your food. I'm beeping!
Yeah, and malt or white? Malt.
And if seafood isn't your thing, there's plenty of other food options on the docks, from Mexican food to Grilligan's ribs and poutine, or even some ice cream to enjoy on a hot summer's day.
This is pretty delicious. There's something much more enjoyable about eating seafood when you're in an environment like this. You can smell the salty air, the sun's going down, the seagulls are cawing. Sort of feel like a fisherman myself. Well, maybe not, but I'm digging the environment for sure.
It was the perfect West Coast experience, sitting on the dock enjoying some food. However, as I sat and enjoyed my meal, I was completely oblivious to the last water taxi leaving from the dock.
So, one thing you're gonna have to watch out for if you are down here and relying on the water taxi is the times. It's only running 11 to 5 today, so unfortunately I'm walking back into town. But I'm gonna call it a night though and enjoy the stroll. Thank you for watching this episode, and stay tuned for next time for another episode of A Day Off In. Thank you.